Hi, I'm Jim with Pour the Juice, and I love this bottle. This is the Little Book, well, Booker's Little Book, The Infinite. This is the 2024 edition, obviously, since they've only come out with the 2024 edition. Um, but I think this is my favorite Booker's of all time, which also probably makes it my favorite Jim Beam product of all time. Really enjoy Booker's, even though I do think it's a little overpriced. But when they're very good, they're great. This one's 119.3 proof, has 20-year whiskey in it, has 14-year whiskey in it, 7-year and 8-year whiskey in it. And the point of this bottle was to bring in all the generations of master distillers or distillers in general um, that have gone into making all the Booker's products. And it's just fantastic. This is the epitome of a Booker's. It's great. I've been thinking about it. I try not to drink my favorite bottles too much because I don't want them to go anywhere. When I want to be able to enjoy them for a long time, goes back to my how to collect whiskey video. If you haven't seen it, um, I've been thinking about this one. I've wanted to taste it again. I'm glad I did. But I've been thinking about this bottle also because I've been wondering what they're going to do next. They've announced with this that they're going to come out with it once a year, and they want to push the envelope with the blend, which I think is an interesting thing to think about. They want you to be able to have the original Infinite and be able to compare it to the 2025 and eventually the 2026, probably 2027. God knows how many they want to do. And it's also a $200 bottle. So my assumption would be that they want to keep up the quality of the whiskey that goes into it. They can't just put some more 7 and 8 year normal Bookers into this blend and sell it for the same price next year. They could try, but I've seen these sitting around on shelves as is, which is a little crazy to me. So I've been trying to think of what makes sense for them to put into the next blend to add to this infinity blend um, of some of the best Bookers that I've ever had. I think there's a few different ways they can go. I think they could, in example one, continue down the same path. They could add another set of around 20-year-old bourbon, around 14-year-old bourbon, and around 8-year-old bourbon. And then the comparisons would mostly be from the barrels. You'd be looking at batches of pretty much the same stuff over 2 years. People would probably buy it because this one's very good, but it wouldn't push the envelope. So, what do they mean by push the envelope? If they're going to stick to that, if they're going to actually push the envelope with this next release and the release after and the release after that, Gee, that's fantastic. If they're going to push the envelope, I believe there are two routes to go. One of those routes being an even older blend, older bottle blended into this of traditional bourbon. Maybe they go 25 years for the next one. That would be something. That would be pushing the envelope. They come out with next year's same price with a 24-year bourbon added to it, 15-year bourbon added to it, and a 10-year bourbon added to it. That would do it. That would get people excited. That'd be something to compare against this, the extra age across the board in a Booker's compared to this, which is already a monster. Or they could go the other way on it, and they could add some rye. And we know Booker's Rye has a great reputation. The original Booker's Rye is some of the most legendary whiskey that's out there. If you want a bottle of that, you've got to pay an arm and a leg. And then in the previous little book, they added some rye to that. And people love that bottle as well. Path Not Taken, I believe. I think that could be a logical way they go to push the envelope, where you're comparing a blend of older bourbons in 1 year to that same blend with added older rye the next year. And I absolutely think people would buy that for the same price. If you come out and you say, hey, there's going to be 15-year rye in this from Jim Beam, or 18-year rye, or 20-year rye, people go crazy on that. And then you really get to see the difference between the two infinites. It's tough. If I was a little book, I would release in the next one older whiskey to push the envelope that way. And then the following year, I would release it with that 15, 18, 20-year rye. Because the hype of the age is going to push this forward. The hype of the rye in that next year is going to continue it. And then people are going to trust this product. And they're going to keep buying it for $200 or $220. You probably pushed up to $250 with the older whiskey, older rye. And that's the route that I think this goes. You have Russell's 15 out there, it was $250. Other Russell's product for $300, $350. You have Pappy's for MSRP for $450. I think Beam wants this to be up there. I think they want this to be their $300 bottle eventually. And that's the path to get there, in my opinion. Push older whiskey, give the people want with that older rye. That's my guess. My guess of what will happen. That's to push the envelope. After that, who knows? But yeah. I hope you liked the video. Please let me know in the comments what you think will be next for the Booker's Infinite. I'm very interested. I will be purchasing this year. And I'll compare them in a video as well. So if you like that idea, if you want to see this compared to whenever the next one comes out, please subscribe. Please like this video. Thank you. Cheers.